Hello friends, welcome back. Season 11, War 9, ranked 55th in Platinum 3 again, just kind of treading water in that middle of the pack spot. Today we're taking on FLB Reverse R, FLB Reborn. Okie dokie. So today we're going in with Void and Namor and Venom. And in a rare occurrence, we're actually going to be using all three of our AW attackers in this one. Alright, so first up we have a Sparky in Section 1 on Long Distance Relationship Buffet. And you notice here that our opponents are running the dodge tactic. So Venom will not only cancel Sparky's built-in evade and his special attack auto-evade, he will also counter the dodge tactic for Spider-Verse champs. So Sparky will be unable to evade. And the goal here in this fight is really to just bait out the special one. Don't push him to 2. And then try and stay as close to a yellow bar as possible. We're getting some good luck with buffs here. My Venom is unduped, so I'm only getting 1 buff at the start and then building them up slowly after that. I think I do try and reconfigure some of the buffs. I can't remember if it's in this fight or the next one, so it looks like not in this fight. So I took that physical resistance buff, 3 cruelties, which is pretty good, and then a Fury, which is really good. So, the Sparky doesn't have much health. He relies, in defense, he relies completely on his evade, tripping you up and catching you with those massive crits. So, Venom, really, really good choice to take care of him. All right, moving up to the first mini-boss island. I'm taking the left mini-boss today. This is a Korg on the Aggression Fury Optimus. This is only a rank 4. Not my best fight against Korg with Namor. So right at the start here, horrible start. I get tagged by a heavy. I do get a parry to stick. I didn't check this guy's sig beforehand, and I'm hitting into his block, which is a terrible idea against Korg as well. So, I don't know where my head was at here. Not in the right place, that's for sure. So kind of settle it down, push him to a S2, and I block the last hit, so I take a bit of damage there. Hit into his block again for some reason. I don't know. Just not a very good showing. I haven't taken a hit, but I'm already down a quarter of my health here. So, all right, we're just trying to wait out our S3 until we have about 27, 28 outrage. Then we'll launch it. Hopefully, get Imperious Rex up, and then launch a second SP3 and try and get the double Fury, and then finish him off with a massive SP2 as per usual. It's a good thing Namor has an entertaining SP3 animation, because you do end up seeing it quite often when you play with him. So I hit into his block again like an idiot. Triggered is unstoppable, so that prevented me from getting the second SP3 off. I did get the SP2, but it didn't do as much damage as it could have. I get a second SP1 off, and then I mistime his SP1, so down half health, and I'm going to need Namor later for a couple other fights on my path. So I'm thinking to myself here, this really sucks because I'm going to have to heal up. Took way too much damage here, just not a very good showing at all. But we got to get through it either way. Potions are potions, and they're all more or less free from the glory store. So it's not costing me any units or any cash, which is good. All right, so we bait out one more SP2 here from Korg, and then I think that should be about it. You can see those Furies stacking up. Aggression Fury is a really tough node. Like if you get stuck with a passive AI profile, you miss time 1 dex and they hit into your block and you're probably dead. So especially champions with higher base attack than Korg has. Alright, so the SP3 didn't really do anything because his Rock Shield absorbed it, but I come back in with a combo afterward and finish him off. So, again, not my best fight, but we got through it with full attack bonus, so that's good. Alright, up top now in Section 2, Path 1, we have a Venom. Nothing really on this node that's going to mix with Venom's abilities. It's just Vigor and Indomitable, so I'm going to go in with Void anyway. If you've ever fought against a Venom, really in any mode, you know how aggressive his AI is. You will often have to dex, 4 times, even a full 5-hit combo just to get out of the way. So the danger with Venom is that if he doesn't feel like throwing his SP1, and he's doing it, luckily, whenever I need him to now. But usually the danger is he's so aggressive that he will back you into the corner pretty quickly, and then you're pretty much hosed. So going into this, my plan was if I absolutely needed to push him over 2, I would just straight up block the SP2 because I've been playing this game for 3 years now, and I think I've fully evaded his SP3 maybe fewer than 10 times in 3 years. Or I'm sorry, his SP2 fewer than 10 times. It's really difficult. You have to nail the first dex off of his leap perfectly, or you're going to get completely screwed by the other hits. So normally I try not to if I can avoid it. So this fight's going pretty well. He's been, as I said, really helpful throwing that SP1, and down he goes, and a minimal amount of health loss, which is nice. Alright, so we have another Kingpin here on Recovery and Buffet, so I'm going to boost up a little bit. Given my previous experience this season with a Kingpin on this node, I think it was a couple wars ago, I didn't feel the need to use medium boosts. I really felt like the damage from there was overkill, and when you combine that with how easy it is to kind of dex his attacks without triggering Buffet, for the most part, I didn't feel like I needed to waste bigger boosts on this. So just a couple of small boosts and then one of these medium mutant special attack boosts, just because I never use them in any other game mode. So this is pretty standard Kingpin fight. I don't know why I didn't go in after the parry. I guess I didn't think it was going to stick. I think I can never remember how long it's supposed to be before he has a chance to shrug off a debuff here. So, and now as I'm waiting for my outrage and my power meter to fill up, I think I do accidentally heal him back up to full. But you'll see it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Once I get the Furies up and the special attacks off, he looks a lot scarier than he is, I think. Back in many seasons ago when I ran, what path was that? Path 7, and you would see this guy on a Buffet node. It would pretty much be, Blade and Ghost Rider or nothing, or you weren't winning. And even one war, I forgot to bring Ghost Rider, and I just got completely wrecked by Kingpin. He just kept healing up. So you notice there, he did heal up to full, but it doesn't matter. So I get my first SP3 off. Get the fat man in the water, electrocute him, poke him in the butt. Actually, in the stomach. I thought they were flipped over. Whatever. Alright, so now we're just trying to essentially bait out a heavy or a special one. There we go. And one of the great things I think I've mentioned previously about Namor is that his special attacks generate no power under Imperious Rex for the opponent. So as long as you're not at an SP3, when you launch your special attacks, you're not going to give them any power. And then you can see with, even with boosted in the special attack, it's probably overkill. So I think I might just try unboosted next time. We'll see how it goes. I really think Namor has the damage to do it. So, all right, this is a Killmonger on the regular Buffet Best Defense Empowered Immunity node. Empowered Immunity doesn't really do anything because he's not immune to any debuffs. So really, you're just trying to avoid the Buffet node. And it is a 15% Buffet plus whatever Recovery Mastery adds, and everybody runs Recovery these days. So it's really just a matter of hoping that I can one-shot this Killmonger after my Furies are up with a couple of special attacks, because his special attacks are impossible to avoid without dexing. When he has Vibranium Armor up, I know that's just when True Strike is up too, so he doesn't get the attack bonus, but I don't want to take any unnecessary damage regardless, so there we go. I've got 29 Outrage, SP3. I mistime my SP3. I should have just launched it earlier, so I launched it just a split second too late. And I missed out on my second Fury, but you can see the Special 3 itself is doing a ton of damage. And then my SP3, or my SP2 totally misses. I don't know what I was doing. I hit into his block twice because he's got those counterpunch charges. So now I'm in a bit of a trouble. launch my SP1, and it crits on the end there, and Killmonger gets wrecked by it. So a bit of a lucky finish for sure. Not a very clean fight. All right, here we have a Domino on the debuff immune special lock 1 node, and you're going to see some really messed up stuff in here. So the section that I want to cover, I will go over again in slow-mo after the fight. But so Domino has a chance to evade from the global node. She also has a chance to evade from Lucky. Other than that, this is not much different than the debuff immune Domino I fought in the previous 2 wars. I think I fought a Domino on the debuff, the mega debuff immune mini. And I am going to get a little bit of healing from the power lock 1 node. That is when I'm not, holding my power. So I'm trying to be extra safe with, hitting into her because I know she's got that evade chance. Trying to hit only 4 hits. Push her to an SP2 when I can. I don't know if I've talked about how I think evade is a straight up broken mechanic on this channel before, but defensively, I think that AI is able to counterattack too quickly from an evade. I think that they shouldn't be able to evade when they've already committed to another action. And that's just on defense. I think evade also has problems that are anti-player when you fight within a champion who can evade on offense as well. So maybe I'll save that for another video. All right, so I get 2 SP2s off. I'm trying to turn the tide in my favor here. Push her to an SP2. She doesn't want to throw it. I'm trying my best to get her to throw this SP2 so I can go back in. I'm not really building up that much outrage here. All right, so I go in. She evades. She intercepts, or she... Oh, man. I'm so flustered watching that back. So here's what happens. So she fires the SP2. I'll play this again in slow-mo here. She fires her SP2, and then what happens is I go in to punish. She evades, but it's fine because I back off. She backs off and then commits to a medium dash attack, which you'll see. So she comes in, I intercept, but she evades and counterattacks before my attack is even finished. And that is an unavoidable hit and a total pile of hot, flaming garbage. So I was salty about that fight for, into the next day. So somebody came and cleaned up my mess on Domino, so I moved up. This is a Havoc on, what node is this? This is Counter Tactics Breakthrough. And I actually think that Havoc is easier to fight when he's stun immune versus when he's not, because when he's stun immune, you are forced to essentially bait out those heavies, which helps keep his plasma charges low. Now, in this particular fight, since I brought Venom, I have the armor up buff, so the plasma debuffs on me aren't doing anything except keeping me topped up with willpower. So I'm going to need that healing for later in the fight, when counter tactics ramps up, and he's going to be doing a ton of damage into my block. As you can see, he's already kind of doing a bunch of damage. Other than that, I want to keep him to his SP2 because it's much easier to avoid. Usually in a fight with Havoc, if he gets his SP1, you're probably going to die unless you have an armor up buff. So I've tried Havocs with like a Vision, and I don't really think the power drain is consistent enough. So Warlock, who's coming out tomorrow, I think he's just built for this kind of fight because he power drains on a non-contact parries, which is Havoc's medium. So I'm getting a little anxious here because Havoc is right in there. I decided to just go in. Hopefully the bleeds kill him, and they do. So a bit of a close finish there because if I hadn't have killed him on that combo, he would have wrecked me with his SP3. So all right, one more fight from me today. This is a Hulk Ragnarok on Recovery Strike Back. This is a duped Gulk, so really his healing is going to be a 50% chance at the end of the fight, maybe. I've been keeping track of. So I fight Hulk twice every day in AQ, and I've been keeping track for about the past month or so, whether he regens or whether he procs Fury at the end of the fight, and every single time except for twice, I think he has procced the regen. So. His abilities don't explicitly spell out what chance it is. It just says, this or that. Previously, I think the mods and the forums have said that it's supposed to be 50-50. I don't think I buy that at all. So I think, especially when he is a defense, I think it changes whether he is an attacker or defender. I think he has a higher chance to regen on defense, and I think he has a higher chance to proc Fury when you're using him. Now, of course, I have no data, or not enough data, I should say, to back that up, but that has been my experience, I think. All right, so back to this particular fight. I don't really mind pushing Gulk to his SP2. I think it's a little more consistently dodgeable than his SP1. That said, since this Gulk is stunnable, there's not much else going on here. Just got to keep an eye out for that little yellow fist when he's throwing his specials, and that'll tell you whether you're safe to go in and punish or not. And other than that, that's pretty much it. So he's got his regen, but the regen is actually going to be reversed here, and he's just going to die. Boom. Alright, so you may have noticed that my profile picture was changed to Cyclops, and actually the entire battle group changed our pictures to Cyclops, and I'll tell you why. So one of my teammates, just one, had an all-or-nothing Havoc on his path, and like a boss, decided that he was going to bring in his 6-star R1 red Cyclops for this fight. So if you aren't aware of why this is an interesting move, it's because Havoc and Cyclops cannot damage each other with their specials. So you can see he launches an SP3 and straight up does no damage to Cyclops. So on an all-or-nothing node, as long as you don't take, enough basic hits or block damage to kill you, this is as safe as it gets. So, I don't know if the plasma damage will kill him, though. I actually didn't check for that. So, second SP3 takes no damage. He gets himself out of the corner. Really, really well done here. It looks like... Oh, he must dump all the plasmas when he uses a special 3. That's what it is. So here we go. One final SP3, and this is like the funniest AW fight I've ever seen. Just bringing in Cyclops to war. Just Command Mike must be pretty impressed. So that was pretty much the highlight of the war because we did go on to lose. It was reasonably close. This was a very tough defense, a very good alliance we faced. So, you win some, you lose some. Bit potion heavy this time, and I had that one death versus Domino, which I will be angry about probably for the next week or so. But so 3 wars left this season. We'll see where we end up. So until next time, thanks for watching.